All right, who are we waiting for this time?
I think Sleepy Joe is taking another 3 p.m. nap.
Sorry I'm late, guys. Jill made chocolate chip cookies. I love cookies almost as much as I love when my granddaughter makes cookies out of the Play-Doh, and Play-Doh smells so good, almost as...
Shut up, Sleepy. Your dementia's kicking in and we haven't even started the video yet.
Okay, guys, chill out. Today we're going to be ranking all the Star Wars TV shows.
Oh man, Obi-Wan was so good and little Princess Leia was so cute.
Of course you say that, Joe. Do you want to sniff her hair next?
Not as much as Melania wants to divorce you, you annoying orange fuck.
Okay, guys, let's just start the list. First off, we have the Clone Wars 2003 edition.
I think this is an easy S-tier show. The better Clone Wars, in my opinion. Not only does it show us Anakin becoming a Jedi Knight, but we also get to see peak General Grievous when he was actually terrifying.
I agree, easy S tier. This show had insane battles with clone troopers and made them look super badass. And don't worry, Hussein, I didn't forget about Mace Windu. He was super OP in that show as well.
That sounds a little racially motivated, Don, but I have to agree. Easy S tier. Next up is Star Wars The Clone Wars.
Instant S tier. An all-time classic show, if not an all-time classic piece of Star Wars content.
Whoa, hold on. The highest I can give the Clone Wars is B tier. More than half of the episodes are complete filler, and we already know the ending of the show before the first episode.
Joe, you're out of your mind. I'm going to have to agree with Donald here.
Thanks, Barry.
The Clone Wars not only filled the giant hole between episodes 2 and 3, but also humanized the clones and made episode 3 and Order 66 mean so much more. Also, the final scene of the show with Darth Vader might be peak Star Wars.
Yeah, I stayed up during COVID to see it and almost cried at 3 a.m.
For once, Donnie is speaking complete facts. Easy S tier. All right, boys, what about Star Wars Rebels?
I think Rebels was a solid show. Definitely worth A tier. It was cool to see Darth Maul come back and face Obi-Wan on Tatooine, as well as seeing Kanan sacrifice himself for the group. But I can't give it S tier because of how ugly the lightsabers looked in the show.
Rebels sucked. The lightsabers looked like kids' toys and the story was boring. Ezra was a super underwhelming Jedi, and Kanan was even worse as the Master. Lothal was a boring planet that kept getting stuff added to it because the writers couldn't think of better episodes. Easy D tier.
Joe, whatever you're on, I'm gonna need some of it because there is no way you aren't smoking that Zaza right now. Rebels not only explored an interesting pre-rebellion area of Star Wars, but also had one of the biggest cliffhangers in the franchise. Grand Admiral Thrawn was also a super smart and scary villain. I would put this show in A tier.
Oh, come on, you guys never agree with me.
Yeah, Joe, that's because you're borderline senile. First you rank Clone Wars B tier, and now Rebels. I don't know if I still want to come over this weekend for your sleepover.
Oh yeah, Donald? Well, guess what?
Joe, you there? Oh, Jesus, not again. Sleepy Joe never fails to disappoint.
Oh, what? Where am I?
Joe, we're making a Star Wars show tier list now. Can you wake up?
Yeah, sorry, it's just sometimes I get real sleepy. Like when you're running through a field and the grass is nice and...
Okay, Joe, we get it. You're not fit to be president. I'll just take it back.
Oh, I don't think so, Donnie. You're not even ready for the election. I'm going to kick your ass so badly.
Will both of you idiots shut up and can we make this tier list?
Okay, yeah, my
Okay,
bad.
sorry.
Okay then, next up we have Star Wars Resistance.
Meh, it was okay. Kind of boring, but not terrible.
I didn't watch that shit at all, so I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. Are you guys okay with C tier?
Yeah, that's fine.
Sure.
Okay, next we got Star Wars Visions.
D tier. Don't get me started on that weeb shit.
There is no way, Donald. Star Wars Visions not only expanded the Star Wars universe in a unique way, but also was a creative risk from Disney that paid off. Each isolated story was cooler than the last, and we got to see it all in a previously unthought animation style. It's an A tier for me.
Joe, that might be the most well put together sentence you've ever had.
Oh, wow. As soon as Star Wars becomes an anime, Sleepy Joe starts to love it.
Shut up, you spray-tanned walrus. Visions was a great show that pushed the boundaries of Star Wars to areas we didn't know were possible.
Sorry, Don, I'm going to have to agree with Joe here. Visions not only showed us new areas of Star Wars, but also did it in a new way. The lowest I can put it is B tier, but I'm leaning towards A.
Barack, so help me God, if you put Visions in A tier, I'm going to send an F-15 to bomb the shit out of your house.
Sure you will, Donnie. Visions goes in A tier.
That's it. The strike team is on its way. They're going to blow your shit, Barry. Just watch.
Well, before they get here, let's continue with the list. Next up is the Bad Batch.
Easy A tier. We not only get to see what happens to the clones after the Clone Wars, but the mystery surrounding Omega and Mount Tantus is super cool. Also, the show takes a dark turn with Crosshair's story that I wasn't expecting out of Star Wars.
Bad Batch sucks. The only point of the show is to fill in the gaps that the shitty writing of the sequel trilogy made. All the stuff with Omega and the cloning is just going to turn out to explain why they just brought Palpatine back in Episode 9.
I'm going to have to agree with Joe. While you might be right about the story, Don, the show itself is still super good. We get to see a grittier version of the Clone Wars that actually tries to challenge the characters in order to force them to grow. There is a lot of filler, though. How do we feel about the B tier?
Yeah, that's fine.
Whatever, that's fine.
All right, boys. Well, next up is the Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
I personally think this show is an easy S tier. We got to see Obi-Wan meet his former apprentice as well as reconcile with his death. Also, little Leia is pretty cute.
Wow, Sleepy, you're starting to sound tired over there. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but Obi-Wan was incredibly mid.
Don spitting facts right now.
Reva was a super annoying character who Disney didn't let die after she got stabbed the same way Qui-Gon did. And the whole 2 episodes dedicated to Obi-Wan tracking down Leia were a complete waste of time. Vader was cool, but the best I can give this show is C tier.
You both bring up some good points. I'll put it in B tier. Next up is the Book of Boba Fett.
Disney strikes again with an incredibly mid show. The best episode of the series was about the Mandalorian.
What are you talking about, Don? The last episode was awesome with the colored bikes and the spin moves and the giant robot. Plus, Boba got to ride the Rancor.
Sorry, Joe, but the Book of Boba Fett was mid as hell. The story was boring and turned Boba Fett from a feared bounty hunter into a whiny bitch. They also introduced Cad Bane just to kill him off. But since it's Disney, we already know that his dying means nothing because no one in Disney dies.
Barack spitting straight facts. This show can't go higher than D tier.
You guys are crazy. We got to see Boba come back from the Sarlacc pit as well as flashbacks to Kamino. It was so cool.
Okay, Joe, since you feel so strongly about it, I'll put it in C tier instead. Next up, we have Tales of the Jedi, which I think is an easy S tier.
I'm going to have to agree with Barack. It was so cool seeing young Count Dooku as well as seeing the Jedi Council before the movies.
I completely agree. S tier for sure.
Wow, you guys finally agree on something. I think that's the biggest surprise.
Well, if Joe says something smart, I'm going to have to agree, but we all know how rare that is.
Shut your mouth before I shut it for you.
Okay, guys, calm down. We're almost done here. Next up, we got The Mandalorian.
Ooh, I love The Mandalorian. His armor is so shiny and Baby Yoda is so cute.
Actually, his name is Grogu.
Shut up, Don, you nerd. Who cares what his name is? He doesn't even talk.
Guys, I'm not going to lie. I really don't like The Mandalorian. Not only is most of the show complete filler, but even the episodes that are good just make Baby Yoda OP for no reason. He didn't have any training and shouldn't be able to just randomly do crazy stuff with the Force.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Hussein here, but where are we going to put it? I, for one, think it should go in the C tier.
It should go in the A tier.
Okay, I'll meet in the middle and put it at B. Last but not least, we have Andor. And I know I'm going to get some hate for this, but I have to put it in the S tier.
The only reason you like Andor so much is because for half the season, Andor is in jail.
Andor is maybe one of the most well-written Star Wars shows to ever be released. Not only do we get to see how the rebellion is funded, but we also get to see the real sacrifices that were made so the rebellion could be born. Luthen's shop is always filled with Easter eggs, and with Mon Mothma, we get to see the Senate during peak Empire. What about you, Joe?
I've actually never seen Andor. Halfway through the first episode, I fell asleep, but before that, it was pretty cool, I guess.
Well, leave it to Sleepy to break the tie. We can always count on you.
Donald, Andor has to go in S tier. It's simply a cut above the rest in terms of writing and character development.
Barack, you've got to be kidding me. Is there anyone else we can ask?
I'm already on it.
Sorry, Donnie, but Andor is goated. I agree with Obama here. Easy S tier.
And that concludes our list.
This list is so shit. Are you kidding me?
What are you guys doing later? I heard Fortnite's creative mode is insane. Do you guys want to play?
Well, Melania is actually leaving to go on some business trips, so tonight I have the house to myself. If you guys want to come over, we could play all night and try it all out.
That sounds like a plan. Meet at your house at what time?
8 o'clock should be good. I can order Domino's if you guys want as well.
Ooh, can you get Hawaiian pizza? That's my favorite flavor.
Joe, that might be the worst take you've ever had, but we can talk about that tonight. I'll see you guys at 8, and remember to bring your own controller. I don't have too many batteries.
Sounds good.
Okay.